Tonight I'm going to be talking about obedience and disobedience. So, there's this young man, let's say he's 12 years old. He's been asked to bring in the trash can every week. Sometimes he forgets, sometimes he just decides not to. If you didn't catch it yet, I am this young man. Finally, I've started doing it. Well, except when I forget. Anyway, let's get started with the first lesson. It comes from Hebrews 13:17. Obey your leaders and submit to them, for they are keeping watch over your souls as those who will have to give an account. Let them do this with joy and not with groaning, for that would be of no advantage to you. This verse says to submit to your leaders. When I was reading this first lesson, it reminded me of the story of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. So let's read Numbers 16, 1 through 11. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, son of Kohath, son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and on the sons of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses with a number of the people of Israel, 250 chiefs of the congregation, chosen from the assembly, well-known men. They assembled themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said to them, You have gone too far, for all in the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Why then do you exalt yourselves above the assembly of the Lord? When Moses heard it, he fell on his face, and he said to Korah and all his company, In the morning the Lord will show who is his, and who is holy, and will bring him near to him. The one whom he chooses, he will bring near to him. Do this, take censers, Korah and all his company. Put fire in them and put incense on them for the Lord tomorrow. And the man whom the Lord chooses shall be the Holy One. You have gone too far, sons of Levi. And Moses said to Korah, Hear now, you sons of Levi. It is too small a thing for you that the God of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do service in the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to minister to them, and that he has brought you near to him, and all your brothers, the sons of Levi, with you. And would you seek the priesthood also? Therefore it is against the Lord that you and all your company have gathered together. What is Aaron that you grumble against him? First of all, we see Korah, Dathan, and Abiram challenge the position of Moses as in his position with God, saying that he didn't have the power to tell them these things. And then they go on to kind of challenge the duty of the priests, saying they should also be able to have the duties in the tabernacle. In the end, it really meant they were questioning God's authority by trying to do things their own way instead of God's. Now let's look at a story about obedience. Let's read about Abraham in Hebrews 11, 8 through 12. By faith, Abraham obeyed when he was called to go out to a place that he was to receive as an inheritance, and he went out, not knowing where he was going. By faith, he went to live in the land of promise, as in a foreign land, living in tents with Isaac and Jacob, heirs with him of the same promise. For he was looking forward to the city that has foundations, whose designer and builder is God. By faith, Sarah herself received power to conceive, even when she was past the age, since she considered him faithful who had promised. Therefore, from one man, and him as good as dead, were born descendants as many as the stars of heaven, as many as the innumerable grains of sand by the seashore. In these verses, we read that Abraham trusted and obeyed God. Trusting is important to obedience. You have to trust someone to be willing to obey them. For example, you are not necessarily going to obey a stranger if they tell you that you must do something. You don't know them enough to trust them, to want to obey them. We can trust God and obey him because we can know him through his word. We often sing a song about this. When we walk with the Lord in the light of his word, what a glory he sheds on our way. While we do his good will, he abides with us still, and with all who will trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. Not a shadow can rise, not a cloud in the skies, but his smile quickly drives it away. Not a doubt or a fear, not a sigh or a tear can abide while we trust and obey. Not a burden we bear, not a sorrow we share, but our toil he doth richly repay. Not a grief or a loss, not a frown or a cross, but is blessed if we trust and obey. But we never can prove the delights of his love until all on the altar we lay. For the favor he shows, for the joy he bestows, are for them who trust and obey. Then in fellowship sweet we will sit at his feet, or will walk by his side in the way. What he says we will do, where he sends we will go. Never fear, only trust and obey. My mom has a thing on the fridge. It says obedience is joyful, thorough, and immediate. So back to the garbage can. Sometimes when I was asked to do it, I groaned. Sometimes, even though I did it, I complained when I should have been joyful. Sometimes I would put the can back in the wrong direction just because I was lazy. I rarely did it immediately after I was told to. These are all things I've been working on. I'm sure we all have an area of life where we can work on being more obedient. If you would like the prayers of the church because you haven't been leading the obedient life you should, or you would like to be baptized, please come forward as we stand and sing.